Good morning and welcome to the Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. There's one question which has been plaguing people for centuries. When human beings started thinking, this question cropped up. And despite the fact that eons have passed, people have not been able to answer this question. Why people are religious? The existence of God and its corollary, religion, have been polarizing humanity. And the whole concept has been more divisive. I fully agree that 16% of the people worldwide, 16% are not religious. But this still equates to 1.2 billion individuals only who do not believe in religion, but the balance are religious. So why? Why people believe in the question that has plagued great thinkers over the centuries, like Karl Marx, who called it the opium of the masses, Sigmund Freud, who said God is an illusion, and worshippers were reverting to the childhood need of security and forgiveness. On the other side, Voltaire, who said, if there is no God, it's necessary to invent him. And a most recent psychological explanation is the idea that our evolution has created a God-shaped hole. Or, in other words, it has given us a metaphorical God engine which can drive us to believe in a deity. Right or wrong? Essentially, this hypothesis is that religion is a byproduct of a number of social and cognitive principles and adaptations which have been extremely important in human development, although they have been inhibiting the growth of rationalism. We are social creatures. All human beings are social creatures who interact and communicate with each other in a very cooperative and sportive way. And when we do so, we form strong attachments to some individuals, but not to all. This influence of attachment, and especially during the childhood, when emotional and social development is at a nascent state, becomes a habit and shows that those who suffer from the fear of separation need some ballast, need some stabilizing factor. And that stabilizing factor is God, because that makes people believe that there is one certainty in the whole uncertainty of life. Living by itself is uncertain. Existing is uncertain. Life is uncertain, but one certainty is God. It may be there, may not be there. So religious feelings are basically a quest for some stability, something definite, where otherwise the only thing definite is death itself. So we continue to rely on this attachment, which becomes a pole star of our thought and our action. Deities and the messengers of deities, so-called prophets, who organize the discontent of the people in the name of religion. Our relationships depend on being able to predict how others will behave across situations, across time, those situations which we as individuals have problems facing. So, the things that we form attachment to do not necessarily need to be in front of us. And that absence of the present to a amorphic, indefinite thing gives more assurance, mental assurance. Imagine some superpower who will be able to do things that we cannot do. Originally, all the secrets of nature, all the beauty of the nature was attributed to a God. And that God was supposed to be the originator and the creator. So the ability is basically decoupling of ourselves from reality, and it also enables human being not to think. Well, children trust their parents. So when you grow up and you're no longer a child, whom do you trust? Then the only way is to create an image in the mind or in the shape of an idol or in the shape of a book. Consider that to be the sonum bonum of all activity, human activity, the holder of all the secrets which human beings cannot understand. And that enables us to be perceived as good people. As a matter of fact, it's a small leap from being human, faced with the uncertainties, to imagine the mind, which is omnipotent, omniscient, but is human-like. Now, all the concept of the God and all the religions is in the shape of a human being. So when they say God created man in his own image, in fact, man has created God in his own image. And here, even the gender equality is not there. Though in Indian theology, number of goddesses are there, but the ultimate God is a male. So another key adaptation that has enabled people or assisted people is the anthropic object. We transfer our feeling to the object. You might have seen many times the coat is hanging on a peg in a room. And all of a sudden you think that it's some human being, somebody. So the human form is imagined only from the coat. So non-human entity with human qualities. Same as those creatures of your imagination are given a human identity from your mind. So basically, it is because you can connect with them. And that connection enables human beings, A, to find ballast, B, to perceive themselves as representatives of the God, which is omnipotent, omniscient. And, like there is a lighthouse to guide the ships in the storms, they perceive, no, it's a perception, not a reality, that God is there to lead them to God. Then there are behavioral benefits of a God. The ritual benefit behavior is in the collective leaders version. You want to enjoy and repeat the experience. Dancing, singing, and achieving translating qualities were a part of the ancestral society. And even today, they are seen in most of the communities, though not in highly so-called civilized societies. These acts of the social action, for example, in Holi in India, or the Aboriginals dancing, or the natives dancing, they are basically the creations of social unity. And incidentally, they change the brain and chemistry. Do you know they are enablers and increased levels of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin? These are the three chemicals which are produced as a result of the social interaction and make you feel good. So anything which makes you feel good is welcome. It might be cannabis. So religion is cannabis without harmful effects. Although then the manipulators use this cannabis to control human beings, and the religion became the controlling factor. So this is a paradox. On the one side, we are encouraged to challenge the ideas presented to us in the childhood. Father Christmas, Tooth Fairy. We say they are fairy tales. Then why not with a religion, which was created for a certain purpose to give balance but has no reality? Regardless of your point of view, the impact of religion and religious thinking on human functioning is a captivating intellectual debate that's not going to show sign of ending. And as long as human beings need something to look up to, maybe imaginary, maybe it has no basis, the concept of a God will continue to have validity. Now, the concepts have validity not because they are correct, but because they provide a purpose. And here the purpose is the people who are intellectually weak, the people who are psychologically impaired, need something to stabilize themselves. A cripple needs crutches to walk. If you have, for example, a bilateral knee surgery, for a month or so you need walker and crutches. But then you grow up and throw those assisted devices away. Now, unfortunately, the people who start believing in God don't throw this device away. It is good at the time of need to give you a blast. But people become so dependent on that mentally they cannot tolerate being divorced from that. So once they are using this intellectual crutch, they keep on using it, despite all the harms. There's no evidence of God that everybody accepts. But psychologically, there's a need, and that need is met by this creation of mind. Thank you.